Good morning, everybody. It is Monday and we're doing our little Monday morning motivational, whatever, vibe, help, support. I don't know what we want to call it, but it's a little chat with me, and it is just going to be a little chat because I've got a client in less than an hour, so I just thought I'd jump on. Now, I saw a post earlier from a good friends talking about plans, talking about what plans they need to make, what plans they're going to make, what plans for their life. Now, if you know me, I'm a huge planner. I'm a typical Taurus, and I'm a huge planner. I literally like notes. I like to write down. I mean, I used to be so obsessive with it. I would write down the timings. At 10 o'clock, I'll do this. At 10:30, this. At 11, and then I would get myself into a massive anxiety state if at 12:30 I wasn't on my schedule. It would really pickle with me. And I learned about doing those from magazines. I did a lot in my late teens. I did early 20s. I did a lot of self-help by reading all those, like Cosmopolitan and New Woman. I don't even know if they're around now. But reading those magazines, they were great for a lot of things. And I remember one article said about writing your thoughts down, writing things down, and then you're able to clear your mind. So that was great. That was great initially, but I went overboard with it, and I ended up, it became quite obsessive. So after a little while, I then started to just loosely plan, like these are I still write things down, but loosely, like these are the things that I need to achieve. And then I would just put like a day on them. So a Monday, I need to achieve this, or a Tuesday, I need to achieve that. And to a degree, I still do that. I used to, again, be quite obsessive with it and then get really bad anxiety and stress if I didn't move to that plan. But now I do like a plan. I do like things wrote down. I do like to put a little, that should be done by Tuesday, that should be done by Wednesday. But I don't get so stressed if it doesn't get done on that day. I am a little bit more chilled, although some would say not. Anyhow, so I read this post today about this friend saying like what plan in their life, what is their next plan for their life, and it got me thinking, got my juices flowing. Morning, Annette. So planning. Now, when I first started my tarot business and the shop, the Mystic Coffee Lounge, neither was planned. As much as I'm a huge planner in life, and I do like plans, how many of you find that you think of an idea and then you go and start it, you activate it, and it doesn't work out? Or there are blocks, there are challenges, you're constantly met with a brick wall each time. Now, I have done that thousands of times, and it's been so hard to try and get it off the ground. I've now learned that actually, if it is getting too hard to get something off the ground, it's not going to happen. It's not meant to be in that timing. Now, I've worked out over the time through experience that when I have an idea, I can't read what people have got. Hold on, bear with me. Morning, Jem, you're like that. Morning, Roz. Hi, Net. So yeah, I've worked out now that when I have an idea, I have it to the back of my head, and I feel if it's like, oh, it's an idea that's not going to be ready yet, or I can feel if it's right here, like, yeah, I need to go for that. That's the time now. The ones at the back are a bit frustrating because I know I've got to wait, and I'm not very patient, but I'm not patient, but I am patient. So things start to move forward. Literally, sometimes takes years. But what I've learned is that actually, if there are too many obstacles, it's almost like the universe is saying, this isn't right, so we're going to put an obstacle in your way. Now, this will go again with people who are in the wrong jobs, in the wrong relationships, in the wrong whatever, in my opinion. The universe will give you signs and will make it challenging for you, and you'll be like, oh my God, every day is a struggle. Why is this happening to me? Why is my partner cheating on me all the time? Or why is, I don't know, why is my job draining me? There's going to be things that are going to be repeating themselves. And the universe almost says like, we're shaking you up, we're trying to wake you up, we're trying to let you know you're not on the right path, so we're going to block it, we're going to make it hard. And if you don't listen, we're going to make it even more harder. We're going to put a bigger block in the way. a bigger boulder, and then you'll be like, wow, there's this bigger mountain to climb. It's just this more and more of a struggle until you can't do it anymore, and you have to just give it up. And then what happens when you give it up? You then look for something new, you start fresh, and all of a sudden everything starts to fall into place. Now by that point you might have to be quite broken, and you might have to do a lot of healing. But imagine if you just listened at that very first block, that very first boulder. Something wasn't right. This is a bit of a challenge. Seriously, life should not be a challenge. Yes, we've got lessons to learn, but we don't have to go through such struggles all the time. There is enough struggles without us having to go through our own stuff. And the universe, in my opinion, and the spirit world will definitely try and get you on the right path if only you listen. I've got some more people to say hello to and I can't see. Morning Carla, morning Debbie, Makes Sense was, morning Marie, morning Sarah. Good, morning Rachel, I think I said that, don't know. So when it comes to planning, like I said, you can over time, you can start to feel a vibe, whether it is like, oh, this is an idea that needs to act now, or this is an idea that needs to wait. Both my businesses now, honest to God, I didn't plan. So when I was, about 30, and I got pregnant, had the children. So I gave up my job. I was a retail manager. I gave up my job to have the children. I was fortunate enough, well, I thought I was fortunate enough. I didn't realise he had a huge gambling problem. But anyway, by the by, I asked my husband, can I give up work and be a stay-at-home mum? And he was like, yeah, cool. I'm earning this amount, we should be able to manage it. So that's what I did. Now, like I said, I didn't know that he had a huge gambling problem as well as other addictions. And what psychic doesn't know that? But, you know, love is blind. Anyway, so I gave up work, and because we were strapped for cash, and I mean really strapped for cash, and the baby was born, oh my God, literally. So Josh was born in the April, in October, I think it was about the October, I found out that my husband hadn't been paying the rent. So we had court summons, and Christmas, I was heavily pregnant. Christmas Eve, we were due to go to court to be evicted. Because it was Christmas Eve, they said, we'll wait until January the 5th, I think, something like that. We went to court and we was evicted. So literally, piss poor. So I started to do Clean Easy, I started to do Avon, I started to clean people's houses. Or did that come a little bit later on? No, the houses came a little bit later on. So I had my son in the April, yeah, and it was then. So as I was pushing the pram around, I started to do all these like catalogue delivery things. I went to a toddler group, I met some mums, and then I started to clean for some of their houses, like better wear, you name it, all those little things I was doing, just to try and earn a couple of quid here and there. And then I got really, really fortunate. One of the toddler groups that I went to, by the way, my actual plan was to do beauty therapy. Now, when I was 17, I went to college to train as a beauty therapist. And the plan was, I was engaged to someone else at the time. My plan was that I was going to get married about 19, have a baby about 20. And then the beauty therapy, because I was already in retail management then, the beauty therapy I was going to give up work so I could do the beauty therapy from home. That way I could work from home while still having children. That was the plan. The plan didn't work. I broke up with him when I was 19, and then I went to another job. I didn't start to do the beauty therapy until I was 30, when I gave up retail and did a little bit before the last part of pregnancy. So I didn't have a house, so I couldn't exactly do a lot from the house. But once I did get home, I did set up a beauty room, and I did do a little bit there. So there's a tiny bit of the plan, but it didn't really work. It didn't really take off. Anyway, I went to this toddler group, and again, that was unplanned. I had the health nurse saying to me, go to a toddler group, go to mother and baby groups, and I had a lot of friends that had babies at the time, so I was like, I don't need any of that, I'm all right. Then a friend said to me, and this is the genius of the spirit world and the universe, a friend said to me, my daughter would like to go to the baby groups, but she's so shy, would you mind taking her to one? So I was like, oh God, all right, I'll go to just one. It's not really my thing, so I'll go to one with her, and then that's it. Wow, I friggin' loved it. She never went back. I went every week. I went every day. I loved them. I made some really good friends, and some of the friends I'm still really good friends with now. So that was a plan. That wasn't a plan. In that, I met somebody, and she said, Alison, and she said to me, what do you do? And I was like, well, I do beauty therapy and Avon and Clean Easy, da. So I bought the magazines into the baby groups and got some mums to order some bits. She said, why don't you bring a couch in? And this is before health and safety. And why don't you bring a couch in and do like waxing, eyebrows and nails and stuff on the mums while the kids, you know, we look after the kids and they can do that in the corner of the room. Great. So I did that, and she said, bring your flies in. Now I was earning about £15 a week then, and that was enough because they would take the kids to some other play centres, and I literally had no money. So £15 a week was enough to let me take Josh to these play groups that were probably £3 or £4 at a time, and to be able to get lunches because they all bought their lunch out, and I obviously couldn't afford it. So that £15, I remember being so chuffed at earning £15 a week because it was my own money, and I could do stuff with my son. It was just immense. Anyway, that, like I said, that was all on plan. Then she said to me, bring your flies in. She looked at the flies. She said, oh, you do Reiki? I do Reiki. I was like, yeah. She said, I've got some angel cards. I was like, oh, so have I. And I've got some tarot cards. She said, well, why don't you bring your tarot cards in to the group, and we can just, you know, read for some mums. I was like, okay. Now, I didn't really know a lot about tarot at that point. I had my cards. I'd had them for about 20 years, but I didn't really understand them. I would hear things, I'd get things, but I just didn't understand it. I was super new. Although I'd sat in circles in my late teens, early 20s, I also went off the rails a bit in my 20s, so I wasn't really on the boat with it. But now I had the time. So we started to do readings for these mums at the group, and then some of them were like, would you come around my house? Okay, went around the house, and she said, I've got my friend. So we started to do little groups that way, and we would do one every couple of months, and then they'd be like, actually, can you come around my friend's house? So then that one every month turned into one a month. Then it went into one a week in the end. Now, at the time, I then started to do chocoholics. I was literally doing anything I could to earn a few quid. And I went and had a reading with someone. And he said, something you do, a business you do, is really going to take off. And it was about in October. And I was like, oh, great, my chocoholics, it's going to really take off. And it didn't. So I was like, oh, he was a bit crap. In the meantime, my tarot business was really starting to pick up. I still hadn't worked that out yet. I was just like playing with it really, but I was starting to get some really good results. And then one day I was like, oh, this is easy. This is really easy. The other stuff has been quite challenging. Maybe I'm not meant to do the other stuff. Maybe I'm just going to go with the flow. So it was at that point, I must have been about 32, I guess. At that point, I thought, I'm going to go and do a tarot course. So I went and did a tarot course. I then thought, I'm going to do this as a job. I'm going to make this happen. So I then started to really get into the development side of things and do astrology and all the rest of it. And then obviously the rest is history. But it literally was not planned. It grew, and the universe had to get me to that toddler group, I'm sure, to meet Alison, to be able to start doing all the readings there. Let me just see. Morning, Carla. Morning, Faye. Morning, Jane. Morning, Kerry. Morning, Alison. Morning, Ian. Do I have a sore eye, Kate? No. I can't see what it was. Good morning, Caroline. So the point of that is that if something is meant to be, you don't have to plan it. Literally, the universe will have your back, and you will be guided into the right position, into the right place. Now, the same happened with my shop. I, again, did not plan it. I don't even like coffee. I'm a terrible cook. So when I first had my unit to do readings from, and that's all it was going to be, therapies and readings, because I was getting so busy, I couldn't do them at home as much as I wanted to. Plus, I couldn't be asked to keep tidying all the time. So I thought, if I rent a unit, then it means I can do my development circles there. It means I can do my readings there. And I was in a little group of people there, so we were all going to be doing stuff together. So I found a unit, that was that. And then we went for a team meeting once, and it came up literally just like, why don't we open a coffee shop there? Look, it's wanted, people are asking for it, let's open a coffee shop. So the other girls were going to be doing the coffee shop part while we were going to be doing the therapies and readings. So we had it built within this unit. We had the coffee shop built. And then they literally the week before they pulled out. Don't want to do it anymore. I'm like, oh my God, we've just built this shit. We're going to have to do it. So we started to do it. We started to do the coffee bit ourselves. And I think that must have been in January or February 2018, I think. 17, something like that. 18. I don't know, 17, 18. Anyway. And then a friend of mine, Donna, she's just said to me in May, my contract's going to end in Cosham. Do you want it? Do you want my shop? And I was like, oh shit, I've just signed a contract in January. I've got another year in this unit. No, I can't afford both. So anyway, it was niggling me, and I looked at the cards and I was like, do you know what? I think we can do it. So I just said yes, took it on, ended up for the first year paying 2 lots of rent for the unit that I'd already had a contract for that was now empty, and the new shop. And we obviously had to run the coffee area ourselves. Now, fast forward a year, and some of you already know this, there was a huge breakup with me and my so-called friend at the time, working partner. So that left me on my Todd, on my own, to run it. Now, if you'd have said to me, however many years back, you're going to be opening this shop, you're going to be having a coffee shop, you're going to be selling crystals, you're going to be doing readings, honestly, I'd have thought you're cuckoo. I don't know if anyone ever remembers a lady in Portsmouth called Sylvia Sims. She was a cracking reader. And I went to see her when I was 19. And she said to me, you're going to be doing the tarot. You are going to be doing what I'm doing. I thought, you're off your rocker. No way. I would love to. I had my own cards. I didn't have a clue about them. I had no confidence. Super shy. I thought, no way. Anyway, it was later on in my late 30s. I thought, I remember her saying that. She was right. So I never planned to open a shop. And honestly, I would never have done it. Had I not had that team, had I not had those situations around, I wouldn't have done it. I would not have had the confidence. Once I was left on my Todd, oh my God, the doors literally opened. It just, everything expanded, and it was so easy. The hardest thing has probably been just having time off, really, managing your home life and time when you're a sole working person there and you have self-employed business. But I've even managed that now over the years because it's been supported. So the universe had this plan, didn't they? The universe knew that this was going to happen. Clearly it was in the cards because Sylvia Sims saw it, but I never had a plan. I never had a clue. My plan would have been to have done beauty therapy from home, try and build that business, or these Clean Easy, the Chocoholics, the cleaning business. My plan would have been all that. I remember doing spray tanning as well, learnt spray tanning, and that was quite busy for a while. And then literally the tarot took off, and I remember being so busy, people were knocking on the door, and I didn't know if I was going to read for them or spray them. And I remember that point thinking, I need to make a choice. I need to give something up. And I chose to give the spray tanning up and the beauty side up to concentrate on the tarot. And it just was so easy. So my motivation for you guys this morning Pat, morning Jeanette, is, oh no, that's so scary. Actually, it wasn't scary, Caroline, because it was so natural and it was so easy. And the whole build-up of my tarot business has not been a challenge. It has been literally just falling into place. So when you are on the right path of something, honestly, everything just falls into place. When you are doing the right thing, whether it's a job, whether it's your home, whether it's a relationship, it shouldn't be that difficult. It really shouldn't be that challenging. If you find that you are having block after block, challenges, if you find that your energy is whacked, if you find that you are emotional and crying, do you know what? You're not on the right path. You're not with the right person. You shouldn't be like that. There's lessons to learn, but we don't need to learn our lessons in that way. We can learn our lessons in other ways, honestly. So have a look at where you are in your life. Have a look, do a check-in, check in, is this the right pathway? Is it smooth? But try not to have too many plans. Now these plans, because I'm a Taurian, I am a natural planner. We are the builder of the zodiac. Tauruses are the builder. You can break us down, but we will rebuild ourselves 10 times stronger. We're known as the builder of the zodiac. So we can literally form things. If someone says you can't do that, we normally say, yes, you can. So I've got that energy inbuilt in me. Plus I've got Capricorn ascendant, which is my business energy, which is my workaholic vibe. So I'm lucky that I've got that in there. My moon is in Aries. So I have the drive and the passion to get things done. If I didn't have that moon in Aries, I would probably be very lazy and just be thinking a lot rather than doing a lot. That Aries energy makes me do things. Anyway, so I am lucky that I've got that aspect to my chart to help me with things. But, and I understand that some people in their charts, they would have natural blocks there. But as far as planning, I do like to plan. I like to have my list of, and I am a bit obsessive with it, of what I need to do because it gets it out my head. But I'm not so anal. My lists are now more day-to-day things, more things like, oh, I need to do that blog, or I need to pick up a kid's prescription, or something like that. That's my list. My plan for my career, my plan for my future. And honest to God, the way that I met Colin, again, I'll do another talk about that later on because I have to go, it was another fluke, was another ease. And although the relationship might have had a few challenges at the beginning, the feeling, the connection that we both had, we just couldn't fight that at all. There was something there, despite us trying to break up. It just wasn't going to happen because that connection, the universe's plan was definitely that we would be together there. And that's from something that happened to me when I was 15, I think, 16, something like that. Anyway, so when you're thinking about your work and when you're thinking about what plans you want to make for your life, they're already out there. All you need to do is tap into that energy. All you need to do is kind of go with what is working for you. Go with what is natural for you. Try not to force things. Try not to overthink things. Try not to make things happen. Something that you'll be working on naturally and is working for you is where you need to gravitate to. So if, morning Claire, morning Helena, Caroline, wish my daughter's business would. It's making her so stressed. Maybe it's not the right business then. Maybe she shouldn't be doing it. You know, businesses do make you stressed because you've got to earn money. But if it's too much of a struggle, if it's not earning you money, or if it's not making you happy, maybe it's not in your alignment, because everything should be in your alignment. Everything should be tickety-boo. Things should be a lot easier. We make it 10 times harder by struggling, by stressing, when if we just listened, then we got to think perhaps the universe is telling us something. Perhaps the universe is putting an obstacle in that way because we're not on the right pathway. I know, I don't want all your responsibility of you jacking all your jobs in or leaving your husbands and wives. I'm not saying do that. But you've got to take personal responsibility. I'm talking about my experience and hope in some way that can inspire you and just give you something to think about, that sometimes you don't have to make a plan. Sometimes those blocks are there for a reason, and when you can understand that and feel that and get in the habit of feeling about these ideas, where does it sit? Some people might have like a ruler. Is it on like the end? Is it on the beginning, or calendar? Where are you? But for me, it's a feeling of energy shifting, like back there or here or here. Someone said to me last year, we've got an idea for a business, and someone said to me, should we do it this? Should we do it here before Christmas? And I was like, oh, let me feel. And it was back here. I was like, we're not gonna do it before Christmas. It won't happen. We'll do it next year. And frustrating as that was, when it got to the Christmas time, November, December, there's no way we would have been able to do it. It just would have been too stressful. Both of us were super busy. So I said to them this year, do you remember that idea? It will happen this year because it's coming forward a bit. So it is something that you have to experience and learn, but that's what we're here for. So I hope that has helped some of you or motivated some of you. If you missed it, listen back on the chat and you'll see. Pat says, I always ask spirit for direction. Yeah, I don't always ask spirit for direction. I tend to just feel it within. So I ask my own spirit really, but I will know that if it's the right thing to do, it would just be a lot easier. And if it's something that I've got to learn through, then it might not be as easy, but it won't go on that way, if that makes sense. Anyway, have a lovely, lovely Monday. I'm off now. I've got a couple of clients. Shop is open today, 11 till 3. And we've got new stock coming. I've had the text through. We've got new crystals coming today. Super excited about that. So yeah, if you want to swing by, we're also open tomorrow 10 till 4, Thursday 10 till 4, Friday 10 till 4, and Saturday 11 till 2. In Cosham, come down for some cake, some lunch, or some crystals there. I do have reading spaces this week. I'm fully booked today. I might have one space tomorrow morning without thinking. And I think Friday, or is it Thursday? One of those days I've got a couple of spaces. So if anyone wants a reading booked, just message me. But have a lovely Monday, everybody. Roz, totally get now, after looking back, setting up my own business room wasn't the right time for me. Have a great day. See you later, everyone. Bye.